chest, or else I'ma really be depressed. Looking like a fool in front of you. Don't give me those eyes, I just wanna tell the truth. I just gotta get it on my chest, or else I'ma really be depressed. Looking like a fool in front of you. Don't give me those eyes, I just wanna tell the truth. I just gotta get it on my chest.
All right, here we are again. Kind of late, obviously. Took a break from making a video because I got scrubbed out in the 1K. We don't talk about it anymore. But anyways, we are here with Amber Ruby versus Amber Sapphire. Really interesting matchup, honestly. It's probably one of the fun ones out of all the videos that I've made. Only because like Amber Ruby is really close to like the Stitch deck dream that I wanted. I wanted to add the Abomination Stitch, but it's just not consistent enough, man, unfortunately. So right here we are. The first 3 turns kind of doesn't matter, I think, in both decks. The fun thing about Amber Ruby that I'm running here is actually the fact that you can shield a Virtue and Lilo like over and over until they find an out, and then you just build a hand and then play another like big character and then just do the same thing. Shield of Virtue and Rockstar Stitch, something like that. It can get annoying, and a lot of people don't really know what to do against those like combos. It's it's huge when it's Amber Ruby because Rockstar Stitch is probably the cheapest 3 lore character out there. And the fact that you can actually play Maui here makes trading like really efficient because a lot of decks don't have a way to deal with aggression, right? But if you play red, obviously you do have a way to deal with aggression with Be Prepared, Maui, and the Peter Pan. And I run all 3 of them. I run 4 Mauis, I run 2 2 Be Prepared in this build specifically. But later on, I think I go up to 3 Be Prepared. Yeah, I do. But so far, game 1, as far as I can remember it, I think I only misplayed once here. And I'm not sure if it was the ink. Yep. I think there was a certain time here where I BR guested, I added the Rockstar Stitch, and then I inked the new dog Stitch. I think this is actually the play. Yep. So right here, I'm about to misplay. I'll tell you why I misplay. Oh snap! That's not bad actually. Holy. Okay. Pay 2. Quest for 4. I ink someone here. No. Oh, it's not lethal. Yeah. Okay, so it was not lethal for the next turn. What I could have done there is actually played Rockstar Stitch, no, Surfer Stitch, and then New Dog Stitch for lethal, but I inked it instead of playing it. I just didn't do the math prior to that. Could have won here, honestly. Maximus and Moana is actually, Jesus Christ, overwhelming. That was end of game 1. We're going to game 2. The glare is kind of unforgiving as well. This is not my regular setup, so this is what we gotta deal with. I've not recorded a video in the dojo for a while, but we're still gonna call this a dojo because it's not locals, you know. Starts off with Lilo Simba. It's pretty good actually. I went first because I lost game 1, which is a huge advantage. I mean, everyone knows about Lantern Stitch. It's just devastating. The aggressive nature of that, like there's no out to it. Like the only way you can out it is if you play Steel and you fire the cannons, the New Dog Stitch, before it could get to turn 3 Rockstar Stitch. But other than that, there's really not a realistic way for any decks to deal with it. That's what makes it like really, really good. Rapunzel here is actually pretty good too, but so like the fact that Jasmine's sideways, you can actually just like swing to Jasmine and then draw 3 with your own Rapunzel. But yeah, right here I already had 2 damage on my Stitch. Swing to Lilo before healing for 3 with Rapunzel, and then draw 3 with Rapunzel. Right here, I actually opted to. I actually suggested to my friend piloting this Amber Sapphire deck to play Ariel as another princess. It's not as effective, but it's definitely better than Cinderella in a lot of times, right? Because you actually get to search Let It Go or Hakuna Matata if you play it, or Part of Your World, which probably isn't optimal to put Part of Your World in this deck. But just the fact that you can play a princess and get an inkable, if anything, off of it, or you're out, which is like Let It Go, right? It's not entirely a bad thing. But so far it hasn't really worked as much as we wanted to. He finally gets a little Let It Go though. After damn, did he stop inking like a long time ago? Holy, we're like far, far away. So it was so funny because he was so proud at this moment because he had like 5 princesses or like 4 princesses on the board, and I just be prepared it. And that's why I choose to play red with the amber package because of be prepared. Like I honestly feel like I'm at the point in the game where if you don't have a board wipe, I'm probably not gonna play it. You're either playing steel for board wipe or red for board wipe, and then you just add another color on top of it. It doesn't really matter which one is it. But because of that, be prepared. He just scoops because he has nothing else. He put everything in one basket, and that's what the princess deck is. Honestly, putting everything in one basket. You have one line, basically, and it's very high rolly. It's a really fun deck. Like if it goes off really quick. Like if you get to turn 3, if you go Lilo Simba, right, turn 1, turn 2, then turn 3, just in time into one of the princess, especially Moana. It's just I honestly feel like it's GG from there. But that's why I added Ariel as well, because like if you don't have just in time, which a lot of times you probably won't, and if you do have just in time, you probably don't have the right princess in hand. That's why I added Ariel, because like it's a turn 3 character. It's either Mr. Shmi or Ariel, and a lot of the times I feel like Ariel's like definitely better as a turn 3 play, right? So right here is kind of risky because Ariel and Lilo could have swung to my Rockstar Stitch, but I'm fine with that trade though, because like it's two people for 1, so it's actually a 3 for 1 at that point, right? But obviously he didn't do it. But this is also one of the things that is really fun about the deck. It's actually the LeFou Rockstar Stitch combo. It goes off crazy actually. So as you guys can see here, it's basically Quest with Stitch or Swing with Stitch, Rockstar Stitch. Play LeFou. LeFou's effect goes off first. Readying Rockstar Stitch. Then Rockstar Stitch effect to exert LeFou to draw a card. Like that is just crazy. Crazy combo. That means your Stitch, Rockstar Stitch is safe. And you don't have to play Simba. Like, you don't have to play Simba just to protect your Rockstar Stitch. You can see right here on the screen that the Stitch didn't make it to the frame of the video of my phone. I don't know why. So right now we just have this proxy Rockstar Stitch in front of us until the actual card resurfaces again. Lantern's actually really good in this deck too, but it's also I feel like the thing that hinders the deck as well, Lantern. Because you are playing a lot of draw power, but it doesn't happen until 7, and it doesn't happen until Rapunzel. And Rapunzel kind of loses value against someone that knows how to play the game, right? Because they're not just gonna put their card sideways just because. A lot of people know how to play around Rapunzel nowadays, which pisses me off actually, because then I just want to play 2 Rapunzel in the deck, or like 3, because like you see multiple of them, you just want to hold one and then ink one, but like in reality, most of the time you probably should have just inked 2 of them, honestly. Look at that combo, guys. That's just insane. There's so much value. And again, steal too, it actually helps a lot because you kind of force them into a grab your sword smash situation, right? So you go Stitch, Rockstar Stitch, play LeFou, request with Rockstar Stitch, and then play LeFou, ready the Stitch. And if the Captain Hook's not swinging to the Stitch, I think you're in a really good spot, because then you put them in a grab your sword smash situation. Or if they already have Tinkerbell, they just go Tinkerbell, hit your LeFou, kill your Stitch, and then smash later on. That would require for them to have 7 inks, so just have to be careful on turn 7 or 7th ink. I think this deck really has the potential, honestly. I just tried to play with 2 of the fun decks because I was just overwhelmed from the 1k and just wanted to play something that's like fun instead of like a sweaty one. So Rockstar Stitch resurfaces. That was a Maui, by the way, swinging to the Moana, funny enough. So right next to Stitch, there is a Maui. Yeah, he just scoops from there. So I'll show you the deck list right now. This is the deck list for both decks. Obviously, we're gonna start off with Amber Ruby. Right, for the Ruby Amber aggro list, we are playing 4 of the Lilo and the Stitch package, right, with the Rockstar Stitch, which is probably the best opening, obviously, right? But so a lot of times what you want to keep here is turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, which looks like Lilo or Stitch for turn 1. Turn 2 is probably 8 out of 10 times Lantern over Simba. It's probably priority is probably like turn 2 Lantern, and then LeFou, and then Simba in terms of like priority. In turn 3, you do want to play Mr. Shmi against Steel, or a lot of times just in general, right? What I want to point out here actually is that I play 4 Shoes of Virtue. It's actually probably the second most important card in the deck outside of LeFou, I want to say, because it's the one that makes your aggression like worth it, because you play a lot of like cheap units, right? Like Lilo, or like shift into the Rockstar Stitch. You probably always want to, when you're questing, you always want to have a way to ready your characters, like with LeFou or Shield of Virtue. If you don't have that, I don't recommend you to quest or challenge anything that turn. So it's basically what I made my Amber Ruby into, like an aggressive deck, especially with Aladdin too. The fact that you can like double swing on someone, like it doesn't seem like it's an aggro play. It seems more of like a defensive play because it's Aladdin, right? But you're actually gaining 4 lures if you swing into 2 people, right? So it's also just like a big play in terms of like aggro. So that's that for Amber Ruby. Now for the Amber Sapphire deck, I know a lot of people are a fan of the Princess deck because it's actually pretty good. I think 3 just in time is correct. I think maximizing on the princess is correct. I think the Stitch. So like for the one drops, we were kind of just thinking of like playing the Stitch. So they used to have the Rockstar Stitch with the deck that kind because it's aggressive, right? Like the princess deck is definitely more aggressive actually than the Amber Ruby that you saw earlier. Only because it has a high potential to just end you before 7. It actually does. Turn 1 you go Lilo. Turn 2 you go Simba. Turn 3 you go just in time, right? And then turn 4 you just go Rapunzel, and then turn 5 you just go another princess or potentially Maximus or potentially Maleficent, right? So it definitely has a like a higher curve and a quicker way to end your opponent. A lot of the times it's just high rolly. You know, like the only way you get there is to see 3 or 4 combination of cards in your hand. The best part about this deck though is that you're only playing 7, 8 uninkable, including part of your world, right? So part of your world you probably don't even need to play a part of your world. It's just one of the cards that we added because we are playing Ariel in the build, and Ariel's really just there to like find an inkable, or it's just a better turn 3 play, and it's a princess, and you know like you can coalesce and then sing with Let It Go, challenge something, heal with Rapunzel, and then ready with Moana, and then sing with Let It Go, something like that, you know. So there's a lot of it's still definitely a lot of combo, but the problem with princess decks, I think, or this build specifically, is that it's combo heavy. It's really hard for you to get in a position of winning if you don't high roll into the cards or if we don't open up with the cards. So you just have to like mulligan aggressively, meaning you mulligan like 5 to 7 cards to get the pieces, right? So that's what we got for today. Amber Ruby versus Amber Sapphire. I honestly think that both decks are pretty fun. I spent like at least 7 days on Amber Ruby. I played in locals. I won the locals, but I didn't really play much meta decks. Meta meaning like Amber Steel or the control deck. But still, it's a fun deck. I did miss a week. It was just like a mental thing. The 1K really got to me honestly because I got smacked around. I got mollywopped by anything and everything that I played. I was playing mid range Steel Amber, and I got scooped really hard. So now that the mental shit's done, we're on to the next mental shit because there's another 1K coming up at Sully's abode. Hopefully everyone will attend. And then a week after that is another 1K at Topka Comics once again, and we will compete. And hopefully I can get deck profiles and report the top 8 if ever they play it. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Oh,
Dead as fuck.
That's crazy.
3 people gone, bro? It's like that?